Hello and welcome on 360 Sport on Trust TV. I am Adeni Aji-Shafe. It's time to take you around the world of sport. A lot of activities, matches played yesterday, talking about Arsenal and also Liverpool. But the fact that they were able to win their game. And it's the D-Day between Uganda and Nigeria. A big one that will be happening over there in Egypt under 20 AFCON, where they'll be fighting for the semi-final spot. And whoever gets the semi-final automatically qualify for the World Cup. So it's going to be a tough one between the Hippos of Uganda and also Flying Eagles of Nigeria. We'll be looking at that particular story first. We need to work harder to beat the Hippos of Uganda. Coming from the Flying Eagles goalie, they are talking about this particular match that will be coming up between the two countries tonight. By 6 p.m. they'll be fighting hard to see who qualifies for the semi-final, knowing fully well that whoever gets the semi-final nod qualifies for the World Cup. So it's going to be a big fight between Flying Eagles and the Hippos of Uganda. Big one there. Although we'll be joining, that's Naziru Jamajo from Kaduna, who will be joining us to talk about most of the story that we'll be having this hour. Good to have you, Naziru Jamajo, if you are there.
Yeah, good morning.
Okay, let's run the show. We just talked about the first story there. We need to work harder. According to the goalkeeper of Flying Eagles, Aniagboso, they are talking about the match that will be coming up between Nigeria and Uganda. Let's start with that one first, Nazir.
Yeah, this is going to be a very thrilling encounter between these two sides, because when you look at it, there is so much at stake. We talk about the World Cup ticket, you talk about the semi-final ticket of a big tournament like this, talking of the Africa under 20 Africa Cup nations. So there is so much at stake for this one, I think. And looking at the fact that these two teams when you talk about the Ugandan side, you talk about a team that finished top of their group after 2 draws and then winning the last time they played against the Central African Republic. They will be coming into this one with so much confidence because of that win. You know, wins always boost the confidence of every team. So they will be coming into this one with big confidence. And when you talk about the Flying Eagles of Nigeria, you talk about a team that is actually going into this one on the back of 2 big wins after that defeat against Senegal in the first game. They get to defeat Mozambique, they get to defeat the host nation, again of the Egyptian national team. So they will be going into this one with so much confidence, both sides. And looking at the fact that, just like I earlier said, the World Cup ticket is at stake, and then the semi-final ticket is also at stake. You talk about this Ugandan team, you talk about a side that is at the moment having more talent, more exciting players than the one we saw making their debut in the last edition of the tournament, taking of the under-20 Africa Cup nations. Back then, they were unstoppable. It took a resilient Ghanaian team to stop them in the finals of the tournament to make sure that this team finished second. And you talk about it, that it is their debut tournament, and they've gone all that way to the finals of the tournament. So at this moment, when you look at the way they play, you see a team that has actually progressed. And the last time they lost a game, we talk about 2022, where they got beaten the last time. And then going into this one, you know, you not look at the Flying Eagles of Nigeria and feel like this is a team that you can go ahead and beat anytime, any moment, because this is a team that has won this tournament, 7 times. The most in the history of this tournament. So they will be going in also with so much confidence, with that at the back of their mind. That will give them so much confidence. And in the 17 editions of this tournament that the Flying Eagles have participated, they've only not made it to the semi-final. That they need to work harder to beat the Ugandans right there. Yes, when you get into crucial moments of every tournament like this, you need to work more harder, just like it started after that defeat against Senegal, and then they stepped up against Mozambique and against Egypt. They won those games. I just hope that the momentum continues. That momentum is very important for you to build gradually, and then they build just that. And we just hope that today we expect nothing more than the World Cup ticket and then the semi-final ticket of this tournament. I have high hopes for this team to go ahead and get something out of this one.
For having that high hope, Nazir, We look at the Flying Eagles, even though they didn't start on a very good note against Senegal before they finally find their foot against Egypt and also, not forgetting, Mozambique. And you look at Uganda, who also, it's not as if they've been so fantastic so far in tournament, because they also, they were able, they managed, let me use the word managed, they draw two, they won one, and now they qualify from their group. According to Coach Ladan Boso, he said that the Hippos cannot stop the Flying Eagles. Do you agree with that?
110%, 110%. I agree with that. I have, like, it's like he went into my hand and saw what is in my hand, and then he just came out and said it. I have so much confidence in this team, looking at the fact that they have stepped up. Although they might be without their captain, talking about Daniel Bami, who is actually suspended for this one. So that would be a very big blow for the team, because playing without a captain in a crucial game like this will have a big blow for you. But Ladan Boso knows his team. Adam Busu knows what he has prepared over the last couple of weeks. And I think it was the same goalkeeper of the team that came out to say that the team and the coaches have worked shoulder to shoulder and tirelessly to make sure that this team make it to the semi-finals of this tournament and then secure that World Cup ticket. I have high hopes, and I'm confident that Adam Busu knows what is at stake, and that was why he came out to say all of that he has said about this team. And I hope that, yes, they get to do the business today.
Well, good one there. Let's believe that they will do the business today. We're looking at the goalkeepers of Flying Eagles. Say we need to work harder to beat the Hippos of Uganda. I'll be with Naziru Jamajo joining us from Kaduna right now. Let's talk still about the game. The second story that has to do with the match. Egyptian referees to take charge of Nigeria versus Uganda clash. That's the second story we're looking at. Egypt 2023. Egyptian coaches, referees to take charge of Nigeria versus Uganda clash. Knowing fully well that we played against Egypt and we dumped them. Now, Jamajo, they are the ones that will be referring this game. A lot of concerns there.
Yeah, you have to be concerned. You have to be concerned. I think something like this happened in the 2022 World Cup back in the month of November and December, where we saw Portuguese players complaining about, the referee coming out from Argentina, the ones that officiated their game against Morocco, where Portugal bowed out of the 2022 World Cup. So these things have some impact in the mentality of the players. Sometimes it has an impact on the momentum of the players when they go forward to play these games. I just hope that the Flying Eagles don't put that at the back of their mind. Let's go out there, do our business, play the best possible football that we can, and then get to see what we can do. Sometimes when these referees usually try to have some impact on the game, it shows clearly that the referee has something against you. Just like what we saw between Lee Mason and Arsenal in the last couple of weeks in the English Premier League. A couple of things happened like this over the course of the World Cup, and then in the English Premier League, sometimes it happens. But this time around, I just hope the boys keep their heads down. Don't have this at the back of your mind. Just play the best possible football you can, and then we'll see what we can do. It is going to have an impact, just like you said. The Flying Eagles of Nigeria, defeated the Egyptian national team. They defeated them, made it to the next round of this tournament, which is going to, have an impact in the game. I just hope the boys keep their head down, play the best possible football they can. Forget about anything referee issues. Forget about anything. Just focus on the game. Don't shift your attention to the referee. Just play the best possible game that you can, and then we get to see what we can take out of this one. Even if it is an Ugandan referee that is going to officiate this one, I have confidence that the Flying Eagles of Nigeria win.
Well, it's the fact that you have confident Nigeria actually will win. But a lot of people are raising concern there, where we're looking at that second that says Egyptian referees to officiate Nigeria versus Uganda. A tough one there, but we believe that our boys can actually fly. After all, they are Flying Eagles, and they're going to fly ahead of the Hippos of Uganda. That match will be coming on by 6 p.m. This evening, and it's going to be a tough one because both of them are fighting to see who gets to the semi-finals, knowing that that opportunity will get them to the World Cup that will be coming up in Indonesia. That's what we're looking at, and it's a big one because Ugandans are really talking tough against Flying Eagles of Nigeria. Although Coach Ladan Boso, the goalkeeper, even the midfielder, Solomon Agbalaka, has also spoken that Nigeria will also qualify. They will fight hard to get it done. Naziru, let me take you on this particular player called Solomon Agbalaka, who has been fantastic so far in this tournament. Man of the match twice. He has won, and he has also done so well. In fact, a revelation in this tournament, among the top 11, the best 11 of this the group stage. What would you say about Solomon Agbalaka, Naziru?
Yeah, when you talk about Solomon Abalaka, you talk about players that announce themselves in big tournaments like this. I think the boy is just taking his chances because this kind of tournaments are the one that you come up and show to the world that yes, at my young age, this is what I can do with the ball whenever I have it at my feet. So I think the boy is just taking his chances, doing the business just as expected. Just like you said, man of the match twice in the 3 games that the Flying Eagles of Nigeria played in the group stages of the competition, and then being in the team of the round, talking of the group stages. I think it's a very good one for him. It's a very crucial one for him, looking at the fact that this is just the start of his career. I hope the big scouts that are in this one, watching those boys play, will take him to one of the biggest teams in Europe, talking about the Manchester United, the Real Madrid, the PSG, the Chelsea, all of them. I know they will be interested. Whenever they see a talent, they spot him and then they take him. That is how football works. It's just what you can do that shows, and then the scouts will take you to anywhere you want to go to. I think the boy is just taking his chances, and I hope he goes to one of the biggest teams in the world after the conclusion of this tournament.
Hopefully, his own can actually be like Victor Osimhen. I remember that World Cup got him that particular move to Wolfsburg, and from there, the rest is actually history, as they say. I'm sure you're going to agree with me, Nazir.
Yeah. Not only Victor Osimhen, I think we've seen the likes of Kelechi Umwakali, Kelechi Iheanacho, all of them participating in this one and then making it. You talk about the under 17. These stages of the progress of players is very crucial. So many people get to see there. Just look at Victor Osimhen right now, the good example you gave. The boy is flying right now at Napoli, scoring goals almost every single game they've played. He has scored in like 8 consecutive games in the Italian Serie A. When you include the Champions League, he has scored in like 9 competitive games. Is very crucial. Let the boys just continue taking their chances. That is why they are there.
More there coming from Naziru there from Kaduna. Now, Naziru, while you are still there, but let me quickly take some NBA. Let's look at some NBA stories. First of all, we'll be giving you results in the NBA. Games were played earlier today, and we just quickly look at the result there as it went down. Chicago Bulls, they actually ahead of with 2 points against Detroit Pistons, 117 to 115. And you have Phoenix Suns, 105 against 91. Charlotte Hornets, Boston Celtics, Jason Tatum was on the rise. I really did well, getting 40 points for Boston Celtics there, 117. They won by 4 extra points ahead of Cleveland Cavaliers, who scored 113. Philadelphia 76ers 119 against Miami Heat, whose Heat went cold. It was actually turned out 96 to 119. What a way to go for Philadelphia 76ers, who really did well. Brooklyn Nets, they did well also, but it was not enough as they lost against New York Knicks 142 to 118. When you see New York team playing Brooklyn Nets and New York inside New York, Los Angeles Lakers 123 defeating Oklahoma City Thunder by 123 to 117. You have Milwaukee Bucks 139, where they have Antetokounmpo, the man of the moment, as he was able to do well for the All-Stars in the Eastern Conference. They are 139 against 117. Orlando Magic, whose Magic went cold also. Memphis Grizzlies 113 against Houston Rockets 99. Well, the Rockets couldn't just get the right place to hit. They lost that game 99 to 130 against Memphis Grizzlies. You have New Orleans Pelicans, who scored 121 points against Portland Trail Blazers. Actually scored 110 in that particular game. Good one for New Orleans Pelicans. They were able to win that game with extra 11 points, defeating Portland Trail Blazers. Giving you update concerning the games that were played in the NBA regular games that I played today. But for Jason Tatum for Boston Celtics, is on fire, really doing so well when it comes to in the NBA games now. We just have to give you all those updates as it happens for those who love basketball, and to let you know that your teams are they are doing in the NBA so far in all the conferences there. And away from the NBA results, let's quickly talk about another one that happened. That has to do with Spanish Copa del Rey. Osasuna beat Athletic Bilbao in semi-final first leg by a lone goal there. Osasuna did well by defeating Atletico Bilbao. Well, those two teams were ready for it, and it went the way of Osasuna. Jamajo, what do you say about this? Okay, Osasuna defeated Atletico Bilbao in that game 1-0 in the first leg of the semi-final. Right now, it seems that they are really coasting home. The second leg will be very tough. Atletico Bilbao needs to work very hard for them to get the win in the second leg. Nazir.
Yeah. They have to. They have to. On paper, when you look at these two teams, you talk about Osasuna, you talk about Athletic Club. When you look at these two teams on paper, you think that maybe Athletic Club will go ahead and then beat Osasuna, make it to the next round of this tournament, or maybe have a very healthy lead going into the second leg when it comes to get played in the month of April. So we wait to see what happened in this one. But yesterday, I was seriously surprised to see that Osasuna get over and then beat Athletic Club and make sure that they go into the second leg with something at hand. So we're to see what happens in the second leg. But I still feel like Athletic Club can, pull off a surprise and then get to win this one.
Well, good one. We've been talking concerning Atletico Bilbao versus Osasuna. Really, it was a tough one for Bilbao because they lost that game by a lone goal. The second leg will be tough, according to Nazir too. We know that Atletico Bilbao just have to work out. If they are to dislodge Osasuna, they know that that particular win now can propel them to win the second leg. But football is never like that. Anything can still happen. It's still open for either of the teams. Now, let's come to where it's so glamorous when you talk to about the English Premier League. Let's talk about matches that were played yesterday. Two matches were on. Arsenal, Everton. You have 4-0 from Arsenal. Liverpool, 2-0 against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Now, Nazir will take them one by one. Let's talk about Arsenal versus Everton first. How did you see that game where, lack of Martinelli, they were on song, you have Saka there, and really it was a good one for Arsenal, adding more to the point they have actually gathered?
Yeah. Going into match day 25, going into that match day, after the match day, you come out, you are 5 points clear of a team like Manchester City is a crucial one. You talk about that game against Everton, they played on Wednesday. You talk about an Arsenal team that we've known long ago since the start of the season, the team that has been performing, the team that has been scoring goals, that resilient Arsenal team. That is what we get to saw yesterday when they get to beat this Evertonian team by 4-0. Can I say maybe it's a revenge of what has happened, at the Goodison Park earlier, last month, where Arsenal get beaten against Everton by 1-0. It was a revenge of class from Arsenal yesterday. From the blast of the whistle, the first 45 minutes, Everton tried their best to contain Arsenal, and they did just that. But by the end of the first half, Arsenal came into the game. They scored 2 goals. They went into the halftime leading by 2-0. And when Arsenal lead you by 2-0 at halftime and playing at the Emirates Stadium this season, there is no going back for you. You are just going out there in the second half to maintain the lead. Make sure that at the end of the day, it is a respectable score line, not for them to go and try through 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. That shouldn't be the thing. And I think that was what Everton did. They just came back into the second half. They did the game management. But with that, still, Arsenal found their way to make sure that they scored 2 goals and beat them by 4-0. This Arsenal team this season, I don't really see Manchester City overtaking them because of the way that they have been playing. And then when you consider the fact that they have got players that are young, players that are ready, and then the introduction of Jorginho in the team, the introduction of Trossard in the team, the business that Arsenal did in the January transfer market is actually helping them. Without Thomas Partey, they have yet to beat Aston Villa. Without Thomas Partey this season, they have yet to beat their counterparts in the last game against Leicester City. And then on Wednesday, where they played against Everton, also they get something out of it. Without Thomas Partey before he came on, I think it was at the halftime that he came on. Jorginho has came in as had fit in perfectly in next to no time because of his playing style, and that is what Mikel Arteta wants. And then the Trossard, who has came in and helped Arsenal. So many people have called for Mikel Arteta to keep Eddie Nketiah in the bench because he's not offering what Gabriel Jesus is offering, and Eddie Nketiah has been kept on the bench at the moment, and Trossard has just came into the team together with Gabriel Martinelli. They are playing fantastically well between them. I think all the signs of a team being crowned the champions at the end of the season, Arsenal have got all of that. They've got the source, they've got the class, they are playing like, yes, we are the champions elect. And right now we are into the crucial moment of the season. If they get to keep on performing like this, I think right now it's just about time that we start counting the amount of games that Arsenal will win and then get to, just to win the league. Because Manchester City at the moment, you look at their team, sometimes they struggle of identity, sometimes they struggle to get something out of games that they should be grinding wins out of. Sometimes they even struggle to beat opponents that they should be beating. So Arsenal are looking good. Everything is in their hands at the moment. They just keep winning and then they go ahead and win the league. And yesterday it was the Arsenal that we get to know. After that blip they had over the course of I think 3 or 4 games before playing against Aston Villa, now Arsenal, they are back. They are back.
Well, good one there, Jamal Joe. Really, I just want to take you on the fact that you said they can go on to win the league. Yes, but they still have about 13 matches to go.
Yes, 13 matches. You look at 13 matches. Also, City have got 13 matches to play. And this team, the way they played yesterday, if they get to continue like this, do you think there is anything that overtake them? They are not under pressure of anyone. They are the ones sitting at the top comfortably. They don't care even if Manchester City get to lose. They don't care even if Manchester United get to lose or anything. They'll just extend the lead that is between them. The only thing that they should care about is the games that will be coming their way. And if they get to win those games, then they'll be in a very good position. Arsenal at the moment, they are only participating in the Premier League and then the Europa League. They are not in the FA, and then they are not in the FA Cup. They get beaten by Manchester City and they are out of the tournament. So their only focus is the Europa League and then the Premier League, in which they might be playing a game every week, unless the Europa League round of 16 is back when they play against Sporting Lisbon. And apart from that, they will not be playing any games. I think that has put them in a very good place. Manchester City are still in the FA Cup. They are still participating in the Champions League, and then they've got the league. They are competing in 3 competitions. Arsenal are competing in just 2 competitions at the moment. And that is why I see them, having the better chance of winning this league than Manchester City.
Okay, good one there coming from Nazir there. Let's quickly look at the fact that Liverpool also won their game. Mo Salah, Van Dijk to the rescue there. 2-0, they defeated Wolverhampton Wanderers. And now let's talk about how the table is standing. Yes, a good one for Liverpool. You can't take it away from them. They did well in that game. Now let's look at the table as it stands right now, where Arsenal, they've added extra points away for the fact that they were able to win that game. They have 5 points ahead, 60 points for them, 55 for Manchester City. And you have Liverpool standing 6th on the log with 39 points right now. Good one for all the teams: Arsenal, Man City, Man United, Liverpool. Well, the battle is still on because 13 matches more. In fact, I will say, well, it's in fact more than if you look at the way it is. It's a tough one because between the 2 teams right now fighting for the top team there. Now let's look at the bottom of the table, 11 to 20, where Wolverhampton Wanderers, they fought hard but they lost against Liverpool. 24 points they have right now, 24 in 25 matches. And you look at the fact that Everton are standing 18th on log with 21 points from 25 matches. What is happening to Everton? Seems they are really condemned for relegation this season. Well, anything can still happen. They can still escape it if they work harder. Quickly, let's look at the FA Cup 5th round result. Matches were also played. Good one for Manchester United. 3-1 against West Ham. Sheffield United defeated Tottenham Hotspur. A good one for Sheffield. And you have Southampton losing against Grimsby Town. Fleetwood Town, they were not fast enough as they lost against Burnley 1-0. Jamajo, you want to agree with me that it was a shocking defeat for Southampton and also for Tottenham Hotspur?
Yeah, shocking. When you look at 2 sides that are coming in the Premier League playing against Sheffield United that are in crisis at the moment, and then Grimsby Town, who you can see that they are trying their best to make sure that they get promoted in the English Premier League. I think Tottenham Hotspur, one thing that I don't understand about this team is that you see them beat Manchester City this week, and then next week they will lose to a low side. And then just like what happened in the league, they get to beat Chelsea in the league, the last game they played, and then just look at them in the FA Cup right now, getting beaten against Sheffield United. I don't know, maybe it is a lack of motivation from the coach. Antonio Conte wasn't the guy at the touchline. Yes, you can say Stellini is trying his best to make sure that he keeps the team ready and perfect and in good shape to make sure that they go ahead and win games. But they are struggling in this kind of tournaments, and this is their only chance of winning a trophy this season. I think they are not in the Europa League, or at least they are still in the Champions League, but they are struggling. Also, they actually get beaten when they played against AC Milan in Italy. And then the Premier League, they are trying their best to make sure that they go into the top 4 places. So for Tottenham Hotspur, I don't really see them winning any trophy anytime soon if they continue like this, because these small competitions that I get to see, the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup, and then the Champions League will be their only chance of winning a trophy, because think about Tottenham going all the way and then win the Champions League, because that is a very, very massive competition for whoever is coming in to try to win it. So we wait to see what happens. But I am actually confused about this Tottenham Hotspur team. I am seriously confused about them.
Confused about Tottenham Hotspur. I'm sure you're happy for Manchester United. They actually blotted out West Ham in that game 3-1 against their former boss David Moyes.
Manchester United this season, after that big win in the Carabao Cup to end their drought of trophy, you expect them to come out confident, playing fantastic football just like they used to do under Eric Ten Hag in the last couple of games. And then in the first 45 minutes, it wasn't the Manchester United that we get to notice in the last couple of weeks, especially when they get to play with their first team players, because the coach get to rest some of the best players in the team. At the start of it, there wasn't the Casemiro, there wasn't Marcus Rashford, it was just Alejandro Garnacho, the guy that was playing very, very well in the first 45 minutes. He had a couple of chances that he couldn't convert, but in the second 45, when the big boys came on, it was Manchester United all over West Ham United after that first goal from Said Benrahma, the goal from Garnacho, the own goal, and then the goal that Fred scored. It was fantastic. One thing that I'm impressed with this Manchester United team under Eric Ten Hag is that in the entire world of football this season, this is the team that has played the most amount of games, and they are still hungry. They still want to win. And that gives me the confidence going forward that at the end of the season, this team might still add a trophy or two, because they are still in the Carabao, they are still in the FA Cup, they are still participating in the Europa League, and you get to see them. We might say they are still in the race to win the Premier League title, but I don't give much into that. Unfortunately, I don't give much into that. But when you look at the Carabao Cup and the Europa League, they have a big chance, and I hope at the end of the season they get to win one of these competitions.
Okay, I want to appreciate you because our time is up. We just have to go now. Naziru Jamadu from Kaduna State there. I really appreciate you for joining us on the show.
You're welcome.
Okay, well, from the way it is right now, good one for Manchester United, Liverpool, Arsenal. They all did well yesterday in their game. Well, we are hoping that Nigerian team Flying Eagles will also fly high ahead of the Hippos of Uganda tonight. That's Sports 360 there. We just have to go now. I am Adeni G. Shafe. Thanks for watching.